Welcome to Boss Ladies on the Record. Congratulations on your film, Mermaid Bitch.
Yeah, so I am the writer-director. I co-wrote it with Alexi Pappas, the lead actress. Mermaid Bitch is a comedic short film about two women who are legacy friends, as I call them, been friends forever. And this codependent, sometimes toxic friendship gets turned upside down when one wakes up transformed into a mermaid.
Mermaid, comma, bitch. Like, mermaid bitch. Like, what is that mermaid bitch? And, like, what kind of themes run through for somebody that has no idea and they won't see it for a minute?
Yeah, I think thinking about the title, first of all, I wanted to think about a title that grabbed people and made them be like, what is this about? I think when you think about mermaids, you think of these beautiful, ethereal creatures, women, that represent beauty and freedom. And I wanted to take that and flip it on its head and have it be not so nice and beautiful, and have it be dirty, and have it be this woman crawling on the sidewalk through LA with the mermaid tail. And, you know, I'm not going to give away the ending, but when she gets to the ocean, we build up an expectation and flip that on its head. This mermaid should swim away into the sunset and become who she's meant to be. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make something different and fun and like punk rock feeling. And yeah, it's really at its core, it's about these two friends thinking they know each other, thinking that nothing unexpected could happen. And then when something does, it's how do you readjust your life and your friendship with someone to accept who they are without any expectation between each other and towards the world. So there's a lot of layers in there. It's like, you know, just because she's a mermaid, does she have to say to the world, hey, I'm different and this is who I am and I'm going to represent all of the mermaids. Like, if all of these people wake up transformed into a mermaid, I'm going to lead the charge and say, like, hey, you know, this is what it's like to be a mermaid. So using that as a metaphor for other things to show, like, hey, sometimes it's difficult to go through a massive change and to have people expect things of you. So that combined with friendship, there are a lot of layers there under the absurdist humor.
What inspired you to write this?
It kind of came about over a lunch conversation with Alexi. She's set to be a supporting role in an upcoming feature film that I have. And we met for the first time in person in New York, and we just got to talking, and we really hit it off. It was the kind of hangout where time flies, a few hours go by, you look at the time, and you're like, oh no, I had somewhere to be. And I mentioned to her the concept of a mermaid feature I'm writing that is very different from this short. It's a body horror movie. And she just really latched on to this idea of a mermaid. And she's like, do you want to just make something about mermaids together and figure it out? And I was like, absolutely. And I think this initial connection, like she says to me, she goes, I feel like we're sisters. Like, we have the same hair. We kind of have the same way of talking. So I think that way into like, okay, maybe this is about friendship or people that feel like sisters, and it's about a mermaid. Let's figure it out from there.
That's amazing. How long have you been writing?
And I actually went to school for acting. I went to NYU, graduated, auditioned a ton, and really quickly realized that I wasn't happy. I wasn't excited about most of the parts I was auditioning for, and I had an instinct, even while on set when I was acting, thinking, well, I think this character should say this, or this should happen in the film. And I hopped behind the camera and eventually volunteered for free. I worked for free on anything I could do. I learned every role, all the while writing and thinking like, ooh, I want to make some stuff of my own. And that felt really brave to me. And anyone that does that, it's scary to say, look, I'm an actor, but I also think I could do this thing that I didn't go to school for. So yeah, that's been the path, but definitely writing has always fascinated me and been the way that I process the world.
So writing for you, is it therapeutic? You talked about writing being brave. Like, what was there a pivotal point? Like, was it just during that one conversation where you really latched on to with Alexi and you said, let's do this? And then, like, where did it go from that lunch?
It's interesting because Alexi is someone I always had an instinct I would work with. We really have bonded over difficult things we've been through, and writing being the thing to get us through. So I think I from afar, being a fan of her work and a fan of what she represents, always knew I wanted to work with her. And so she's set to be a supporting role in a feature I'm writing called Ultra, about an ultra marathon through Death Valley. She's going to be one of the runners in that. So that was why we met. And yeah, I'm just really honored that she, wanted to collaborate and gave so much to this role. But yeah, there's a lot in common with us. We both lost a parent in very different ways. And I think that was the catalyst for her to become an Olympic athlete. And my loss of my father was the catalyst for me to make the brave decision to write and direct films. So yeah, I think it was this recognition in each other, like, oh, we have the same journey in many ways, but also very different.
And let's write this story together that is, like, super quirky and about friends, and we have a connection, and let's make a script about it. And so you co-wrote together?
Yeah, we wrote it together. And I think, like, something that's a thread between a lot of my work is looking at people when they're not at their best moments and being really honest about relationships. I think we were both curious of exploring this long-term friendship and what is it like between two people that have known each other forever, take each other for granted there aren't always kind to each other, during this pivotal moment where one of them just wakes up transformed into a mermaid. So there are a lot of deep, relatable themes in there under this absurdist comedic lens, which I think is a great thing. Like, I'm always looking to do this. I know Alexi really pushed the comedy. Comedy is not my instinct. I've never made a comedy. So
you're pretty funny, though.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of stuff I write solo is, like, about death and mourning. And it's great. It's hilarious. And loss. And then Alexi's work is comedic, but about deep themes too. So we combine together. We're like, all right, what are our weird voices when you mush them together?
That's beautiful. So co-writing during the script process, how long did it take you to develop the script? And, like, what were some difficulties that you had?
It was a super fast process. I think from start to finish, it was 3 months of putting it together, writing it, doing the pre-production. And I want to highlight amazing producers that worked on this, Iris Torres and Christina Campagnola. Without them, none of this would have been possible with such a short time frame. Because I'm based in Brooklyn and we filmed in LA, I was, I'm going to use the pun, but a fish out of water on this shoot. And I'd never filmed in LA. So having two LA-based producers.
Location.
Exactly. Having them know, where are we going to film? How are we going to do it? How are we going to get the permits? How are we going to, like, put cones on the street? And how do we do that? Like,
it's illegal.
Yeah. Well, with the permitting and stuff.
Right.
But I had my producers figured all of that out seamlessly. It was a seamless shoot.
How'd you get the money to fund this?
It was mine and Alexi's, just emptying my bank account. Very fun.
So now where are we at?
We're on the festival circuit. We've played a bunch leading up to Austin. It's an honor to be here. Like, this festival is unbelievable. I'm just meeting talented person after talented person after talented person. And it's incredible to be in everyone's company here. After this, we have a couple more festivals. I'm really excited about Cucaloris next month in North Carolina. I've heard that's great. I was just talking with the director of Lady Parts, Bonnie, and she'll be there. So it's fun to get to know filmmakers and start to see the same people and celebrate filmmaking together.
It's a small world after all. It is wonderful when it collides, and that is a beautiful part of filmmaking. Absurd, awkward humor is my favorite. And so I love that theme about exploring, it really does challenge. It challenges their friendship, and you can tell they're OG friends. And then like, you're the only one.
Yeah, she's the only one.
You're the only one that's going to help me. And I called you first. Yeah. So like, how many people, like, how lucky are any of us to have one of those friends in our lives? So are there friends, like, who is one of those boss ladies for you?
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 siblings. I have a sister that lives a mile away from me in Brooklyn, and I have keys to her apartment. I just walk in, I eat her food, I wear her sweatshirt, and she can do the same for me.
She's okay with that?
Yeah, her wife sometimes isn't. I think. I don't know. Sorry, Marley. I love you both. But yeah, it's great to have that closeness. And yeah, we fight. We yell at each other. We'll text each other angry things. But I think that's real. And I want to show the ugly side of that. And in the end, how you can still, if you're in an enduring friendship, you'll have patience, you'll have forgiveness, and you'll be there to hug each other and laugh in the end. So I'd say, yeah, my sister is also my best friend. Hey, I'm Victoria Negri. I am the co-writer and director of the short comedic film Mermaid Bitch. It's now playing at the Austin Film Festival. I'm honored to be here, and I am honored to be speaking on the Boss Ladies on the Record podcast.